Hey, what's up, y'all? Sam Smyers here. I wanted to go over how to use soft clipping for drums or percussive elements in particular, and just how I have used it previously. And I'm going to go through my song Want You and go through the drums and just show you some examples of what I've done. Basically, soft clipping is a little bit less harsh than hard clipping. So if you look at this diagram, you can see that the red right here, this is hard clipping and it squares off the waveform. And soft clipping just brings it down a little bit, but maintains this roundness. So it's good to use if you want to increase the loudness of a percussive element in your song. So maybe you put this on your drum bus and you want to increase the loudness of your drums by reducing some of the unwanted peaks that might not be adding anything musically to the track. And so that's what I do, is I use it to increase the loudness of my track, and I'll use soft clipping on my drums or put on my master bus so that I'm not really changing how it sounds sonically. I'm just trying to increase the loudness. So let me just play you this hook or drop part of my song Want You, and we're gonna go over the drums. Won't you? So you can see on my drum bus, I have a compressor. I have this limiter NO6, which is a free plugin that is a limiter compressor. It also has a clipping module, and that's what I'm using. I'm actually using both the limiter and the clipper. And then I have a decapitator and the Pro Q. So I'm going to go ahead and mute the limiter and the decapitators, and I'm going to record the audio coming from the drums. So I have an audio track here. It's receiving audio from the drums, and we're going to take a look at the waveform after I record it. If we take a look, we can see these peaks right here. These are on the kick. These peaks in the audio, which probably are not really contributing anything sonically that we can hear. So let's try and round these peaks out a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on this limiter, NO6, and I am going to turn this off so that all we're doing is clipping it. And let's just start this at 0. So we're not doing anything. Start the threshold at 0. And right here you can see when the clipper is being activated. Okay, so now I have this clipping on, this soft clipping, and I have this threshold at about -8 or 9 dB. And now what I'm going to do is record this, and we'll take a look at what the audio looks like. Okay, so we got that recorded. Let me just make this a little bit larger. So now let's take a look at both of these audio files. This red one is going to be without the soft clipping. This green one is going to be with the soft clipping. And you can see those peaks from the kick. I've taken them away in this soft clip version, and smoothed out some of the peaks on the other hits. And if we just take a listen, it'll be pretty similar in the way that they sound. Here's the version without the soft clipping, and then I'll switch to the version with the soft clipping. So what this will allow me to do now is increase the loudness of the overall drums and make them loud in the mix. And whenever I put any kind of processing on the master, this will help reduce any kind of digital distortion that could have been caused by these peaks that we can't really hear and they're not really doing anything. And this is useful for drums, it's useful for other percussive elements. Adding a soft clipper to your master chain when you're mastering, that's also useful for reducing unwanted peaks without actually changing the way that it sounds. And you're basically able to make your mixes louder and decrease the risk of causing any kind of digital distortion that you don't want in the mix. So, hope that helps.